Music again?
Yeah, let's do it.
Woohoo!
All right, we are back, baby. Thank you so much for joining us at Bants and Burgers. I am Bonnie.
I'm Jarrod.
And Jarrod's stuffing his face. We are getting quite close, like not heaps close, but pretty close to comp. So the burgers are gone, unfortunately. Yeah. Nonetheless, we are still going ahead with the podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm probably going to say some stupid shit today. I've just been coming out with I'm just the biggest space cadet today. Some asshole dropped my calories. Jarrod. So yeah, if I sound like a bit of a spud, just know that I'm fully aware.
That's why you've been brain dead all day, hey?
Legit.
And it hasn't only even started.
Yeah, I just been doing I've been driving 3 times today and just completely zoned out and be like, oh, I was meant to turn off 4 blocks ago. Whoopsie.
Yeah, Bonnie literally picked me up before and then drove halfway back to her own house before she realised we're going to record, which is the opposite way.
I messaged him and I was like, I'm here. And then I'm like, wait, no, I'm not.
And she was on the wrong street to pick me up.
Oh, God. So today we are back at it with the question and answers. Like we said in our last podcast, we had a shit ton of questions come through, which is epic. So thank you again. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. We've had quite a lot of good feedback from the last few, so we are stoked about that. So
yeah, there's too many to answer. So fuck, we're starting off with I guess when I put the questions up, I was doing a shit and everyone picked up on it. Obviously, I guess.
Oh, was your photo of you on the toilet?
we got a few questions asking if how many shits I'd had that day and.
Oh, how many have you had today?
Maybe 2.
2.
Yeah.
I've
probably have another one after this, to be fair.
Yeah. Some people poo every
through
few days, hey. It's weird. I poo I've been having a lot of sugar-free stuff lately, so I'm the queen of TMI, by the way. So there we go.
How many times have we pooped today? Yeah.
I think only twice, actually, today.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywho, next question.
Next question. It's a total change of pace. What are you grateful for today?
Oh, okay. You know I love this question.
I'm grateful for my new air fryer and my slow cooker.
Welcome to the next level of life, Jarrod.
This is the first time in 10 months that I've cooked my own shit.
Yeah, wow. How good.
I've become so lazy. I thought it was definitely time to stop being a piece of shit and stop.
Not there's anything wrong with
meals.
bought meals,
but
no.
It just wasn't accurate enough.
Yeah.
For comp. You have to be accurate, and those meals I don't trust them. So
no, not at all.
I have to weigh my own stuff. And
I find they're hard. When I was sort of tracking and I was just tracking my calories and my protein, they were easy to fit in. But now that I'm tracking fats and carbs and trying to hit them right on, they're so hard to fit into your calories.
Yeah, you gotta have random little shit in between just to fill.
Yeah, but not even I just they're just so much fat in them, and I'm like, geez, not about it. But I mean, they do taste great. But I'm grateful for my lift in my apartment. It's been broken for 2 days and I've been so tired and walking up 5 flights of stairs. So I'm really grateful for my lift. You know what? Actually, I'm grateful for a lot this week. I've had one client in particular that's been going through a really rough time. And it's honestly I've been really feeling for her. She's the best, but it just made me so grateful for so much in my life. So I think, this week I've been really grateful, for a lot of things, which is awesome. I always take the time out to be grateful. But yeah, I've been finding a lot of things that I'm grateful for this week. My family, my job, all my clients. The list goes on.
Oh yeah.
Life.
That's mad.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm grateful for a lot of stuff too, but that's the two things that come to mind.
What, air fryer?
My food. Yeah.
But a lot of people don't have that luxury. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, next question. We got so many, so we're just going to roll through them as quickly as we can, I guess. Best way to track when eating out. Apps, breaking down meals to calculate with MyFitnessPal, and when you don't have that as an option in MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, cool. So that's there's a lot going on there with that question.
So best way to track eating out. Apps, breaking down. Yeah, look,
I think that the one thing I always tell my clients to do is to individually put things in. So like I find a lot of the time when I get a new client tracking, a lot of the time I'll go through their food just at the start while they're getting the hang of it, and I'll find them putting in things like ham and cheese toasty, or like they'll like I don't know how to like what else, but like they'll put in things and look it up.
Meal, right?
Yeah, but instead I would say break it down. Okay, so put 2 slices of bread, put in a few slices of ham, put in a quarter of a tomato, and like butter, like a tablespoon of butter. Like really break the meals down, so that you're looking at all the ingredients and doing it that way. We use MyFitnessPal, so that's the app that we recommend.
Nut tab. If you're not sure of like an ingredients, like what should be in it and stuff, like especially for like barcoded things, like just go on the nutrition database and look up the tables and have a look.
So with MyFitnessPal, the shit thing about MyFitnessPal is that anyone can put anything in. So you might look up, a tomato and some randoms put it in as like 50 calories, or not 50 calories, like 500 calories or something. And there's no one that checks it. So the things to look out for on MyFitnessPal would be the green tick. They're pretty reliable. And then like Jarrod said, if you, say if you're looking up a tomato, if you just type in nut tab, which is NUTTAB, which is just a nutrition database that's quite reliable.
If
so
you
can
Google
always,
it'll just come up. It'll be like a search engine sort of thing, and it'll come up with a heap of tables of different foods. And it's just like the Australian Nutritional Database tables, and it'll just show you like what they actually, because like there's so much information on the internet, like what the fuck is correct, So just go to that one. That's the most reliable.
Yeah, for sure. And like me and Jarrod have said it before, overestimating always for if you don't have your scales there, obviously, just overestimating the quantities and then always adding in, your extra fats and things like that, just because you never know what the chef has put in there to jazz it up. Was that the rest of the question?
I think that pretty much covers it. Like when MyFitnessPal doesn't have the option, I think means, when it's not in there as like the green tick or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool beans. Next up.
All right. All things meal prep. Hacks, tips. Please, I need tips for uni / every day. Okay, well, my tip is like be prepared. I mean, look, like just like cut, like I think you said in the first podcast you do like separate ingredients, right?
Yeah, so
I think I do the same. Yeah, like I would get like 3 or 4 different types of meat or flavors of meat. So, for example, I just started prepping. I'm going to do 2 different flavors of chicken and I'm going to do 2 different flavors of beef. Package them up, and then do the same for carbs, and then you can just mix it up. You can have sandwiches. You can have like, a mixture of stuff like I am now. Like, this is air fried sweet potato with the chicken that I cooked last night, and
I think it depends how fancy you want to get. Like, I know so many people are like, oh, give me some recipe ideas and things like that. And like, if you really like, I love cooking and you want to spice things up, then go for it and make up nice, awesome recipes. But honestly, all my meals are just random foods chucked together. Like I'll make, so say for instance, I'll make salad or I'll have pasta, a sauce, and veggies or, something like that, just random ingredients put together. And when you do that and you break it down, like you don't need to be adding, like all like different,
It just needs to be simple, right? What I'd do is just write down your 4 favorite proteins and your 4 favorite carbohydrates and then just start off with that. And then you can mix and match those 4 things with the other 4 things. And then, everything else like sauces and little spices and vegetables here and there is just added extras and just to fluff it up, you know what I mean? But sure. That's your bread and butter. Just find a few proteins you like and a few carbs and then just keep mixing them.
Yeah.
Mix and match.
What I do that makes it so easy, literally like once a fortnight, I will get like say a heap of beef mince, a heap of chicken, a heap of like just different proteins, cook up like 2 kilos worth, section it off into snap block bags, put it in the freezer. Then I've got 2 weeks worth of meats. And then you just buy your fresh produce, fresh when you need it. You got your random shit in the cupboard. Those basmati rice things are really good. You just literally put it in the microwave. Frozen veggies are awesome. And the Master Food sauce, they're like my staples. Frozen veggies, meat, rice,
that little gravy thing that you
the gravy's off its head.
Yeah, so good.
But so I think just like being experimental and like there's so many good Instagram pages out there where you can find like little macro hacks and things like that. But do your own research, go through Woolies, scan things, see what what is in the items of food that you actually like.
Chances are, if you follow a couple of PTs who are massive foodies, like you're gonna see some pretty good ideas like on their stories and in their posts and stuff like that, like all the time. So you just got to look out for that sort of shit.
Oh, yeah.
All right. first place you're going to travel to when borders open?
Well, am straight to England when possible. I was meant to go to visit my grandma. She's not well in England, which is really unfortunate. We had a family holiday trip booked to see her, to put her down on things, probably for the last time. So we're like holding out to go over and see her before anything happens. So literally as soon as we're allowed, we'll be over there. But I mean, as well, like it just depends with, like, I know it's, it's hard to put, time on that, but if you've got to quarantine like 2 weeks either side for like a 2 week holiday, that's like almost like 2 month mission. So it just depends what the rules are, like when it happens. But yeah, that's like, if possible, definitely England.
Yeah. I think realistically for me, like it would just be like whatever one's open first, like, so probably New Zealand first and then
go compete in New Zealand.
Yeah,
sure, maybe.
I don't know. Like, yeah, anything that's open close and first, like, because reality is like once borders open, it's going to be fucking expensive, man.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm just like probably just going to go somewhere small, somewhere that I can see the whole country in like a week, so I can just take a week off.
Yeah, I would love to go. If all the WBFF shows go to plan, I would love to go to, I think it's late October, early November is a New Zealand pro show.
Yeah, the pro.
I would love to do that if, depending on how the shows go this year, that could be an option for a little holiday.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Herbalife.
Herbalife is the next question.
Is Herbalife just like, is it like shakes?
Look, I think it's a whole heap of different stuff. Juices,
My old
shakes,
boss used to sell it.
Supplements. I don't know.
It's just it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like a pyramid scheme.
Essentially, I think.
Yeah. So Herbalife is just one of those like gimmicks where, you eat a shake and to lose weight or whatever it is. I don't know the ins and outs of it, to be honest. But I know I don't recommend, weight loss shakes at all. And I also am not a fan of pyramid schemes. So for those of you who don't know what a pyramid
Unless you
scheme.
get in first, right?
Huh? Unless you're up the top, then fun.
Unless you made it.
But they're just annoying. Like, get out of my DMs. That's the one thing that grinds.
Don't you want to be in my circle?
Huh?
Don't you want to be in my circle?
In your
my
circle?
Herbalife circle.
Are you trying to get me right now? Shit, what do I have to do? Do I have to?
No, like I'm sure there's merit to some of the supplements that they do spruik off, like, but in terms of like having a massive effect on like your progress and that and like being like a full blown good diet to follow.
If you like the taste and it's worth the calories, then have it. But if you're doing it for, someone's roped you in because it's going to change your life, then tell them to get fucked.
Yeah, and it's expensive, dude. It's just a money grab.
100%.
That's why those guys are so fucking rich, man.
Well, that's it. And it's just like everyone wants to avoid the fact that to lose weight, you need to go on a calorie deficit. Like so many people will just try anything and will spend so much money when all, you've got to do is literally change your lifestyle a little bit. So I think people, take the most of that people's insecurities in that way and just freaking take them for a ride sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh. Is leftover frozen pizza good for you? This question is definitely aimed at me.
Leftover frozen pizza, good for you. Okay.
So I almost died from a frozen pizza like 2 years ago.
Did someone throw it at you? Or?
No.
Frisbee!
No, I was so like I was working up in Queensland and I was moving from Brisbane out to Toowoomba. I was going to work on solar farms, like literally out in the desert out there. And I was staying in this tiny little caravan park and in the interim before I got a house, right? It was in the middle of fucking nowhere. And so like before I left my house in Brisbane, I cooked this fucking frozen pizza from Woolworths, right? And I packed it in a lunchbox in an esky, like cold,
Yeah.
Got to the caravan park. There was a little fridge in my like cabin thing. So I chucked it in there and then like went to work the next day. I got thrashed at work, didn't have time to eat it or anything. So I took it home, put it back in the fridge, and I took it to work the next day. And then I ate it.
Okay,
and obviously,
is that not allowed?
I mean, it was sitting out in a 45-degree heat.
Okay,
it's probably not ideal.
Yeah, so you ate the pizza.
Yeah, idiot. Ate the pizza.
Was it a whole pizza?
Yeah. It was most of it. Yeah, for sure. I think like I got like 3/4 of the way through, and I felt fucking sick. And and I felt sick for the rest of the day. But obviously, I knew what was going on. I was like, I I got fucking food poisoning for sure, you know? Like, that pizza was definitely something I shouldn't have eaten.
Whoopsie daisy.
But, like, you know, food poisoning, whatever, like, I was like, I'll just walk it off for the rest of the day. I'll probably shit myself later.
He did not
vomit
walk it off. Did you shit yourself?
And no, I didn't shit myself. But
Okay,
I finished the
congrats.
day, I went home from work, and as soon as I got home, I didn't shit myself. I shit a lot. But
Yeah.
anyway, I went into my little cabin thing, and I just crawled up in bed, and I just got the worst fucking chest pains in my life. And I was like, I couldn't move. Like the cabin was maybe like not even half the size of this room. And
Yeah.
my desk was over there. I was here on the bed. I left my phone on the desk to charge. And I'm like laying down. And I couldn't get up. Like it was so bad. It felt like someone was standing on my chest, like fucking like
Wow.
big, heavy guy.
What was on this
you know?
pizza?
Anyway, so like I could hear my phone going off, like because Mum was like calling me, like checking up on me, being like, oh, like you know, he's sleeping in a caravan park by himself, like
Yeah.
check up on him, and I couldn't even get up to answer the phone.
Really?
Yeah, I would try to get up, and I was just getting massive head spins, and just like I'd fall back over, and then like I was out of breath. I was like having the worst chest pains I've ever experienced, and it lasted for 6 hours, dude.
Oh my
Like it was like
God.
I got home from work at 5, and like it's just kept going until like 11:30 at night, and I like as soon as it died down enough, I just got in a ute and drove like an hour into the nearest fucking town into the hospital, and I was like, yo, you gotta look at my fucking like chest, like
What is going
I've got
on?
like a history of like heart problems in my family.
Okay.
So like my
Yeah.
granddad died of a heart attack. My uncles like had a couple of heart
Yeah.
surgeries at age 40. So they're like, yeah, we got to check you out. And then yeah, they took me in, and they run all these tests. I was in hospital for 5 days, by the way.
5 days.
Yeah.
Holy shit! For a pizza.
They ran all these tests, yeah, and they said that the food poisoning contracted me a virus that attacked the protective lining around my heart and inflamed it. It's called pericarditis, but basically the protective lining around your heart like inflames and it chokes your heart.
Oh my
So
God.
it's like super similar to having a heart attack, what you would feel, but
Yeah.
like just for a fucking long time.
Oh
So,
my dear Lord.
like,
From a pizza.
Yeah.
And you still eat pizza to this day? I
eat pizza, but
I'd
I
be
don't eat. I'd never
traumatized.
buy it from Woolworths ever again.
Oh
Like,
my
it
dear
was horrible.
Lord.
And yeah, so I was on medication for months to get rid of that. Like, but I was like I said, I was in hospital for
That's
5
next
days. and-
level.
Yeah, crazy. So, in
So no
answer to the
more-
question, is leftover frozen pizza good for you?
No.
I guess no. I don't think so.
Wow, that's insane. You
Yeah.
don't even. That's
Don't-
like something from like a movie.
You would never think, right?
Or like The
Like-
Simpsons. That reminded me of The Simpsons. Like I just picture Homer the whole time, like.
Every time someone said food poisoning to me, I was like, "Shut the fuck
Yeah,
up!"
you
Like, that's
don't-
just like you got sick. Like,
Yeah.
shut up.
You
like,
got
it doesn't.
food.
But now I'm like,
freaking
maybe
murder. Wow. Anywho, all right.
Cool. Anyway, give someone a compliment on air who deserves it.
Oh, that's cute. Someone a compliment.
Compliment
Me for stealing my calories a week.
Oh.
No,
How-
I'm kidding. Okay, you go first.
I'm just gonna shout out my client Kyle, who I posted up.
Oh, he's a
his
legend.
transformation.
Carl's a
Yeah.
sick.
Dude is the hardest
dog.
worker, like one of the hardest working clients I've ever had.
Yeah.
And he's lost like what he's like 130-ish, a little bit more even.
Wait,
when I
he's
met him.
what?
He was
130, yeah. And what's he now?
125? No, and now he's 85.
Yeah, that's insane.
Different person. Well, same person, obviously, but like
Yeah.
just completely changed. Like you wouldn't recognize him, and like his just confidence, just everything, has just improved so much. So.
Yeah, he is
Like-
such a legend. Like he walks
And
into
just
him
the
like
nicest kid
yeah,
as well,
so
yeah.
such a cool kid. Yeah, how good is like seeing witnessing that and knowing like you had something to do with that. That's awesome.
And also, just like I think it just hit, like I said in my post, it just reminds me of my journey a lot,
Yeah.
like his journey. So like I can connect with that like really well.
So good, and he's kept it off. Like it's one thing to like lose the weight, but then to like really like keep it off and live the
He
lifestyle.
does like
is
more
just-
pull-ups than me now.
Yeah.
Like,
How
okay.
good. Yeah, I'll give a compliment. So what I was touching on before about being grateful. One of my clients, Lily, she is A beautiful girl. She literally, like I've spoken on this podcast a few times about all my little life crises where I've come in and out of PT. She's followed me to 3 different gyms. She's waited out my little breaks I've had off from PT. Every single time I've come back, she's been like my first client at every single gym, followed me around. But yeah, she's been going through a hard time. She's had a loss in her family. And, you know, she had a week off the gym, which is given. And she's just been, you know, back at it, and she's just kills school, everything. She's beautiful. She's like 17, and she's just, the most beautiful girl. And yeah, it's really like kind of put things into perspective for me, I suppose. You know, you have your hard weeks and stuff, and sometimes I have such a hard time pulling myself out of, you know, my down moments or whatever. And she, just a massive inspiration to just like, you know, keep going with life and still being her bubbly self, which is, awesome. So she definitely deserves a massive shout out.
It's funny how like we're the coach, but like I learned so much from my clients as well.
Oh, they inspire me so much.
Get so much from like those connections and friendships that I have with
100%.
them.
I was actually thinking about it today. Like I'm so like at the moment with all my clients, like all my clients, but like really now at the moment, my clients, like I just feel so aligned and so connected to all of them. And it's so awesome. Like I'll go to work and like, it does not feel like work at all, just cause I literally look at my schedule. I'm like, yes, like I'm so keen like to catch up with them and like see them. So it's awesome. All right, beautiful. What do we got next? I literally cannot see. I don't know if it's like part of the low calories my vision's going, but I just
talk about your business or biggest business struggles.
Biggest business struggles. Okay.
Biggest business struggles. For me at the moment, I'm just overwhelmed with so much shit. Like I've got my hand in like 7 different pies.
Yeah.
And I'm just like trying to
just taste them all.
Just juggle them all. And it's so hard. Like that, and I think like I was talking to a few people about this today, is like booking time out for myself. Like I find it so hard to switch off, you know, get my training sessions in. Like it's so hard for me, like, you know, if one of my clients like, oh, like I can't, this has come up, like I got to change my session, can I do it a few hours later? And then it's like, you know, they're asking about a time where I would usually train, and I'm like, well, you know, I'd like to say yes, but at the end of the day, you have to book time out for yourself. I went through this with another one of my clients today because, you know, like the other day, because he was sort of like, you know, he would have PT booked like 3 times a week, but then like he would be getting called into meetings and this and that. And I got called into work early. I was like, well, okay, but you're doing this for your health, your mental health, your physical health, whatever. Like you've got your goals. You know how important they are to you. I was like, if you're at the doctor, would you just drop your shit and like go to work, or would you just sit out the doctor's appointment and say, look, like I'll come in when I can. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to make that decision, and it's hard. It's hard to make that decision sometimes, isn't it? But
definitely, you got to do it. I always think from like our perspective as PTs, you know, we give so much to other people in our sessions, which you know, it's like not something like I'm complaining about, but you do. You know, when you interact with other people and you're giving them advice, you're giving your energy to people, and you've got to make sure that your cup's full, because otherwise, I would rather, you know, say no to one client. Sorry, I can't change this. I'm training now, or you know, I've got to do my freaking laundry, or you know, things that make you feel organized. You need to make time for those, because if I don't do that, then for the next few days I'm probably not going to give as much to my clients that I do have booked in as I would like. So sometimes it's just about, you know, making little sacrifices here and there. And I'm a big believer as well, one quote that always sticks with me, which is starve your ego. Oh fuck, I forgot it. Oh my god.
Just make it up. Just make it up and then just roll with
it's like something about starving your ego and feeding your soul. So like, you know, you could take on one extra client in a spot where you usually train and get the extra money or whatever, or, you know, you could pick up extra hours at work and get that money, but, you know, you might sometimes benefit from saying no, starving your ego, and going and spending some time with yourself, doing some things for you and feeding your soul a little bit.
That's cute.
Yeah, thanks.
But I agree.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So my struggle.
Go ahead.
My biggest struggle is definitely imposter syndrome. So just like It's something I've definitely gotten a lot better with, but just that those constant like negative voices in your head saying, you're not, you're not good enough, you don't know enough to be like, who am I to be teaching people about mindset? Who am I to be teaching people about training when I don't have my shit together? I don't train all the time. I'm not that consistent, a lot of the time, and just things like that really sort of play on your mind, but. One thing that I've learned, I sort of always knew, but it's just like, you're always a bit harder on yourself. But it's been, sort of more sort of cemented into me from a few coaches I've worked with is that you don't have to like completely have your shit together in order to teach other people and for other people to learn from you. Being a bit more confident in myself with those areas and thinking like knowing that I think I deserve deserve to do well and that I am educated. I've definitely got more to learn, but, I definitely surprise myself sometimes. Like sometimes the client will ask me a question and I'll answer. I'm like, oh, what was that? That was impressive. But you know what I mean? Like I do, like I find myself constantly like kind of surprising myself. And, my clients get awesome results and things like that. But just having that self-confidence is something I think I struggle with, definitely. And just, which has sort of gotten in the way of me reaching like my full potential. So definitely like road bumps, but not something that stopped me completely.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's something to be said, like we mentioned before, from just like learning from other people, you're always a student. It's like one of my favorite quotes. Like,
100%.
You're always learning. It doesn't matter whether you are a teacher or a coach or whatever.
Yeah.
You're always a student in some aspect.
There's always more to learn, isn't there?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. If you could only do 3 exercises for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Pepsi Max make me burp.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to move away as well. And I was like,
all 3 exercises. Okay.
Mine would definitely be like cable pull throughs and like, glute quick kickbacks for sure, man.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna look at this from like a an enjoyment or like practicality or just like a mixture of both. I think like one that I don't necessarily love, but a deadlift is probably like a really staple movement that if you could only do one exercise, you would probably get a lot of benefit from doing a deadlift.
Yeah.
I would say more so than a squat.
If you're doing it for functionality and like, getting the benefit.
Working most bang for your buck.
Yeah, functional benefit. Yeah,
deadlift.
Like deadlift.
I freaking froth. I love hyperextensions, like doing glute focused hyperextensions. They're like probably my favorite exercise for the glutes and just like from pure enjoyment. Hip thrust, just because I'm a basic bitch. What else do I like?
Bench press.
I love dumbbell shoulder press.
Oh, yeah. Shoulder press. Not bad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, actually, you know what? I'm going to say a face pull. I think there's so many benefits from doing a face pull. So good for you.
Fuck face pull, dude. I hate that choice.
Really?
But each their own. No, I just.
But so good for like shoulder health and like feels like so many
traps.
people. Yeah.
So it just doesn't do it for me. But yeah, face pull is good.
Yeah.
Mine would be bench press because I like that shit. And I don't know. I wouldn't do squats anymore because my legs are
having
fine.
a break from like low bar squats.
If it was just enjoyment standpoint, I'd just do probably bench press and I'd do pull-ups and I'd do shoulder press and then I'd call it a day, baby, and I'd go home.
Yeah.
And that would pretty much work my whole upper, and then I'd just have pinned legs and I'd be okay with it. And I'd just wear, I don't know, track pants or
track pants.
Those people that just wear track pants in the gym. What are they doing?
Oh, I like track pants.
Like it. I like the look of it, but are you hot, bro?
In winter though, you can wear them.
I'd still think, are you hot? Like,
I used to rug up when I'm on prep. You'll see me when like this winter, I'll be like in the gym with like 4 jumpers on shaking.
Have you ever seen Connor?
At
4:30
Oh my God, our boss.
And he's walking around with a hoodie and a trench coat, like both on, like at the same time.
It'll
like
be hot.
The Undertaker.
I'll be sweating and he'll come up to me like, what the fuck's wrong with you? It's that fucking cold. I'm like, are you okay?
Storming around the gym like the fucking Grim Reaper.
And then you go into his office and the aircon's on line 13.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I've got a good snap of it. Like,
he's funny. But yeah. I definitely think like hyperextensions are my fave at the moment. And yeah, hip thrust.
All right.
Pull-ups when I'm lean because like they're easy.
Last question. I think it's probably important that this is the last question.
Most embarrassing moment. I've got one, but I don't know if I should say it.
Hit me. It can't be. I don't know. I don't
Have you
even
got
know
one?
if I want to share mine, to be fair. Mine's fucking bad, man.
Mine's
Like,
pretty bad too. What does yours
I'm
involve?
actually sort of nervous. Is there anyone even listening outside this door?
Well, I
don't
suppose
want
it doesn't
anyone to
matter
hear.
because they're all probably going to listen eventually.
You
Okay,
go.
I'll just do it. Okay, so one time I was engaging in
You were engaging in what?
so, no, I should.
Go. You've started now. Let it rip.
That's
We can't edit it out.
Okay. So one time I was having sex, right? Oh my god, I'm like a little girl. I'm like sexy. And I was on top and I got a nosebleed. It was dark and I was like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? Turn the lights and I'm like, holy shit, sorry.
You must have ripped it in hard for you to get a nosebleed.
Yuck. Sorry.
Oh my god, man! Like, why? Do you just get nosebleeds regularly, or
I don't know, no.
yeah, man?
Yeah,
okay, cool.
random. Anywho, what's yours? I think I'm more nervous for yours.
I was in Bali once,
Yeah.
and I like went back to the hostel, and I like got in bed with this girl, and I was sleeping. The room is like small, right? And it has like bunk beds on either side of the room.
Yeah.
And on the end of the end of the bunk beds are like boarded off. You can't get in and out of the end. You can only get out of the side, and they're all up against the wall. So there's only one side that you can get out of if you're in the bottom bunk.
Mm.
And this girl goes, "Oh, you get in," and then so I'm against the wall, and then she's in like blocking my way out, right?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind we're in Bali, and I'm retarded, and I just eat whatever street food,
Yeah.
and I like fell asleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night to what I thought was a fart.
One
was
thing my
not a
dad
fart.
always says, he goes, never trust a fart in Bali. Like, even
was
if you got to
not-
pay to go to the toilet and fart, you got to do it.
That was not a fart, and I fully shit myself in bed with this girl.
Wait, was she in bed with you?
I was spooning her, and I was on the wall side. I'm so cute, by the way, spooning. Anyway, shit my pants.
Spooning in Bali in a hostel, no thank you.
So, like-
That's sweaty.
So I have to get out, right? Because like I can't just lay there and wait for her to wake up because she's gonna be like, "Why is there shit? The smell of shit in my room."
Oh my dear
Anyway, so
Lord.
I got up and I climbed over the top of it, but I was like clamping my pants against my legs, so it's just like because like it's not like a solid shit. Dude.
You're going to
Like,
regret telling this.
like, so I'm like climbing
So
over.
solid.
This is grim. Hey, you know.
Grim's-
Guy's going to be
Grim's
listening to
gonna
this,
know,
and he's going to be
pause
like,
it. He's
he's
gonna
going to
pause
see
it.
me on Monday, and he's just going to shake his head and be like, "What the fuck, dude?"
He gets so
He always
embarrassed.
gets
Eh?
so he hates these sort of stories, dude. Eh? I hope he's listening. I
Okay,
really
that's
do.
chat.
Anyway, so I'm clamping my shorts, like, and I climb over this girl, and I make it right. I didn't leak anywhere,
Good job.
and so I took my underwear off and threw it into the bathroom. But I forgot earlier on that night we were in there and we flooded it. But because like in Bali, sometimes like when it storms, and it stormed that night, the power goes out. So there's no lights anyway. I just threw it into what I thought was, I forgot it was flooded, like I said, and I just heard a splash. Because in my head, I was like, I'll throw it in there and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to have a shower. I'm going to wash the shit off me. And then everything's going to be okay. I'll fucking hide the pants or whatever. And anyway, I heard the splash and I was like, fuck. And keep in mind, I'm pretty pissed. So I'm not really thinking straight. But I'm like, okay, the bathroom's flooded. I'm going to need to get back to my bathroom on my side of the hostel. And I've got no clothes on and there's shit all over me. So anyway, but it's like 3 a.m. I'm like, surely not. So I just sprinted through the hostel. It was a grim sight, honestly, but I did make it back. to my room without getting seen. I got in the shower, showered off, got clean, and
So you left the shitty undies in her bathroom.
you're spoiling the end of the story.
Sorry.
But like, so I got changed and I went back, and in my drunk idiot head, I was like, I'm just gonna get back into bed. No one's gonna know that anything happened, right? I should have just legged it and never come back. Like, it's like $20 a night at this place. So like, why would I stay? But anyway, get back into bed, and then like morning comes, and like I've forgotten to take the shitty pants.
undies.
But remember, the bathroom is flooded. Like the shit spread everywhere, like all through the bathroom, dude. And like her like roommates woke up first, and they were just going, man, like what the fuck? And
Did
they
you
were
claim
like,
it?
Nah, dude. No,
You're like,
no one knows.
It's Bali. It just washed up out of the toilet.
Yeah, no one.
Well, now she knows.
Even to this day, I hope she's not listening. Surely not. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Jarrod. I feel so enlightened. I feel like
the nosebleed doesn't seem like much.
Yeah,
anymore.
I know. Thank you for making mine seem a little bit less grim.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's done, folks.
Cool.
Thank you so much for joining us. Next week we are going to be doing. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think we can. Hopefully you agree. We're gonna do a little bit of like a prep update, life update, kind of where we're at the moment with our preps, where we want to be, if we're on track, that kind of thing. So we'll pop up a question box if you guys want to ask us any questions about our prep. But yeah, that's what you can look forward to for next week.
Cool.
And we out.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
We good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Hell yeah. Roll
Sick.
the music. Let's go. Sorry.